Hey, Aswan Cruikshank here, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, former Division I college football player, and current five-time published author and educator. Here for a brand new. This is breaking news. You guys are a part of the first ever Wintrapreneur Wednesday. All right, every single Wednesday, I'll be on this platform, this YouTube channel, in which I put out multiple videos a day on my podcast, the Move Swiftly podcast, that has actually gone from podcast to platform. What I've decided to do is every single Wednesday, because normally, normally when you guys see me, you see me just finishing a run, or I'm kind of active running around and stuff like that. So I wanted to create something in which it's more of a tone, or more of a relaxed tone, in which I'm not as intense, or more of an intimate setting between you and I, and talk about exactly how I serve people, exactly what this brand, the Move Swiftly brand, has represented, what it become, what it can actually do for you when you make an investment in myself and the processes and the systems in which I've created. All right. And the main thing in which I create this, the universal system in which I offer for business owners is using a system in which teaches employees how to develop an intrapreneur mindset. All right. So what I've decided to do, and like I said, this is going to be the inaugural series, and every single Wednesday I'll come on here and I will give you what I have personally coined. I'm taking credit for this one. I will give you what I call a wintrapreneur tip. All right, a wintrapreneur tip. And all right, so before I get into what I mean when I say wintrapreneur, I want to give you an idea what it actually means to be an intrapreneur. All right, we obviously know the term entrepreneur. Most likely, more often, that's the term that's usually used. Now, intrapreneuring is more specifically about people who are working for big companies, working for huge organizations, in which is paying them handsomely, whether they paying them what they want, or they're paying them enough to pay their bills and things like that. But they're entrepreneurs within a big company. All right, intrapreneuring meaning you're going out and you're working, you're innovating and you're working with what the company's already given you, and you're creating opportunities and you're basically, again, creating opportunities. I don't want to use the word opportunities, but you're creating products, you're creating services, you're in your own head and you're creating services that lead to opportunities, right? You're creating services that lead to opportunities, and that is what makes you an entrepreneur. Because without you as the employee, there's so many things that they can't do. So there's a lot of things to be proud of when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Again, the term entrepreneur is the one that gets used most often. However, being an entrepreneur is something that, in my opinion, is just as valuable as an entrepreneur. All right. So like I said, what I've decided to do is come on every single Wednesday and explain to you. Now, again, you're speaking to someone that has had a ton of jobs, has worked in a ton of different environments. And I can talk to you I could do a whole episode probably that will last close to an hour or 2 hours about all of the things that I've personally tried that were entrepreneurial in their own right. So instead of, creating this long-winded video for you, or creating a long article for you to read, or writing an entire book on all my entrepreneurship ventures, I decided, let me just break it down, give you a tip every single Wednesday about how you in your own company, how you in your own job, whether you're a business owner listening to me right now, or you are the actual employee, that's just the staff member that's listening to me right now, there's something you're going to be able to take away from these tips every single Wednesday. All right. From these tips every single Wednesday. All right. So as far as what I'm kicking this one off at, I'm kicking off this series, the entrepreneur tip that I'm kicking let me make sure I rephrase it. The wintrapreneur. All right. Now, I added the WIN. And like I said, no one's using the wintrapreneur tip. And you already know, when it comes to me, Mr. Innovative Teamwork over here, I'm not going to put anything out there that doesn't have my own twist to it, my own frame to it. So I have dubbed these the wintrapreneur tips because, again, we're winning. I'm not just going to be giving you ideas here to do that. I'm going to give you ideas that lead to an actual victory, lead to actually something tangible for you, some skill, something that you can take away something that you can take away, go apply it to your job, apply it to your situation, apply it to whatever it is you're trying to do. And then from there, that's how you win. You win in your mindset. You win in your mindset. You win in how secure your mindset. Again, there's a lot of people out there who think that the real security, job security, getting ahead in life is about what somebody else is paying you, when in fact it is not. It's actually how well you're able to tell your story, how well you're able to manage your situation, whatever situation you may be in, whether it's work, family, whether it's a part-time job you're working, or whether it's two part-times you're working, three part-time jobs you're working, trying to make ends meet, hoping to hustle this, hoping to hustle that. Again, been there, done that. Trust me, I know exactly where you're coming from. All right. Understand the win is how you win in life is basically how secure your mindset is, and how able you, right, how much you can take one job, one small little job, and create opportunities. In fact, it was one of my favorite books titled Do You by Russell Simmons, the hip hop mogul, in which he stated there's no such thing as a dead end job. There's no such thing as a dead end job. There's always opportunities. If somebody's giving you a paycheck every single 2 weeks, you have absolutely no excuse not to be taking advantage of it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. All right. So as far as the inaugural Intrapreneur tip for this week, I got to take you back. It was about 4 years ago now. Yeah, 4 years ago, right around the time COVID hit. It was right around the time COVID. I'm recording this, by the way, May 14th, 2024. So it was right around the time in which COVID hit. I was a well-known trainer at a boxing gym by the name of 9 Round Kickboxing and Fitness. And I'd be there again every single day teaching boxing lessons. I started to become known as that guy, that trainer that works at 9 Round. I became very popular in that area of Plantation. All right. So as far as an update, that gym is no longer in business. That gym permanently closed. All right. Now, fortunately for me, I left them. I left that gym owner. I left that gym 3 years ago, and I wasn't a part of seeing, the gym fold, but I saw the writing on the wall, which is what made me decide I'm leaving this industry. I'm leaving this place specifically and get more into education. I was actually, at the time, I was working on my second book, which is titled Make Your Move, a unique look into boxing, dance, and entrepreneurship. Then, I was more so looking to develop and find a situation like the one I'm in now, where I'm educating people and I'm setting up my life, or setting up a way of educating families, educating parents, educating young people coming up in the world. Because again, someone that has intellectual property, that's more of the place in which I fit from when I started there. All right. So that's growth and development. So when it comes to the actual tip and how I was able to develop the mindset and ultimately leverage and create an opportunity for myself, is because when COVID actually happened, the owner of the former owner of this 9 Round that I'm referring to, he decided to cut the hours for Sunday. He decided to cut the hour. He closed the gym for Sundays. He closed the gym for Sundays because people weren't showing up or whatever. Again, I didn't agree with his reasoning behind doing this, but again, he was the owner, so just like, do whatever it is you have to do. So he decided to close the gym on Sundays, and again, it didn't make a whole lot of sense if we're trying to get people in. But again, we won't even bring him up. I won't even get started on that. So you had to close the gym on Sundays, and what I did in my personal life is because he did that, I decided to put on free workouts at a local park, which is again something that I invite him to. I used to post, about it on social media and just say, hey, look, because the gym's closed, you guys sign a waiver and I'll put you guys through workouts every single Sunday for free. You don't have to be a member at 9 Round, whatever it is. All bottom line is it helped to rebuild and help to establish relationships. People saw me at the park teaching boxing, and people were coming up to me and saying, hey, here's my card. I want to learn this. I want to learn that. And I was getting actual kids. I was getting new people coming into the park, teaching them how to box, teaching them certain things about how to protect themselves, and teaching them that actual skill set that I developed at 9 Round. And again, this wasn't a conflict of interest with him or a conflict of interest with what we were trying to do at 9 Round, because he decided to close the gyms on Sundays. And I was primarily at the time targeting youth. I was using youth boxing lessons because at the time the goal, kind of my North Star towards the business was opening up my own youth center. However, I was still training adults, and adults were coming up to me wanting to learn how to box. And I was telling them, hey, meet me at 9 round during the week. I do these free on Sunday. And it turned into an opportunity. Now, granted, although the owner of this 9 round never took advantage of the opportunity, never showed up to work, never even acknowledged the fact that I was doing this, it's totally fine. It's fine because of something that one of my coaching mentors, his name is Dre Baldwin, he talks about this concept of rejection marketing, meaning if you're going out and you're doing something that would help another business. So let's say you're in your situation, you're in your boss, and you say, or a situation like what I just described to you happens where you have to close your gym, you have to close your business, you have to stop the production on your business, and you as an employee go and do something that can help this owner or help this manager or help this boss or help whoever it is. You can help them there. You're helping yourself with what you're doing. But ultimately, with these free workouts that I was putting on every Sunday, these were lead magnets. These were opportunities that he could have taken advantage of to put the 9 round, to set up a 9 round table, to do something to rebuild the business that we were losing because of COVID. He never took advantage of it. Totally fine. Rejection mark. One of the things that, like I was saying, Dre talks about is something called rejection marketing, is when people decide to ignore these opportunities. You can just say, hey, get the fuck out of here. We don't need you. We don't want you. And that's more of a blessing for you. This is how you as an intrapreneur become a wintrapreneur, right? You're winning because you don't have to. You have taken the initiative to create an opportunity in which you can better yourself. And the people who should be, right, who should be taking advantage of it, they don't want to take advantage of it. Fine. That is completely up to them, and you can keep it moving, and you're able to find a more quality group of people to work with. That's what I mean when I say entrepreneur, right? It's one thing to just go out and do your job and, be a persistent worker, to be the person that showing up to their job every day, giving it their all, and making some things happen in the workplace. But it's another to have the mindset to say, I'm going to create this thing, and either you're with me or you're not. And if you are, let's do it. Let's make some money. Let's go win, right? If they're not with you, totally fine too. It allows you the confidence. It creates the confidence within yourself so you can go move on, create another opportunity, and again, find some better quality people to work with. This is what has happened to me since that time, since 4 years ago. Again, 4 years ago, I was only a 2-time published author. Now I'm a 5-time published author, working in an environment in which is very much about creativity, very much about teaching the young people, very much about providing something for young people that they will never have, and their parents, versus what I was dealing with 4 years ago. Now the gym that I was at is completely out of business. It closed, permanently closed. See my point? All right. Do you get my point? All right. Now I can get, like, as I can get very long-winded on this topic, which is why I'm breaking it down into weekly tips. All right, so that was the first one. Again, let's kind of recap. 4 years ago, working at a boxing gym, COVID happens. The owner of the facility stops hours. He closes the gym on Sundays. I decide to put on free workouts at a local park on Sundays, and that is ultimately what was the beginning of MakeYaMove.com. That's MakeYaMove.com. All right, that's this week's Wintrapreneur tip. Now, before I let you go, once you go to MakeYaMove.com, there's a bundle there. There's a bundle. Starts with this book. It's called the NIL Athlete Bundle, right? 6-figure athlete, converting your skills into cash, partnered with about 2, 4, 6, partner about 8 other authors on this. All right. You get this. This is my most recent book, Transferring D1, a practical guide on how to navigate the mess, the chaos that's coming with college athletics. It's absolute mess, but I talk about actual specific things that we can be doing to kind of pare down the mess and the problems that we're seeing within NIL and the transfer portal. And the second book that I just finished mentioning, which is Make Your Move, a unique look into boxing, dance, and entrepreneurship. You get all 3 of these books for whopping total of $65. $65. Just go to makeyourmove.com, go to shop, and you're gonna see NIL button. All right, so make sure you get a copy, get your full book package. All that being said, looking forward to seeing you guys next week on these weekly Wintrapreneur tips. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Comment if you want to come on. Like I said, I do have a podcast named the Move. Excuse me. I do have a platform that I call the Move Swiftly Podcast. All right, comes out every single day on your favorite place. The #1 podcast that's on innovative teamwork. Just look up innovative teamwork and you'll see the Move Swiftly podcast on there. If you would like to be a guest on that, make sure you contact me as well on my socials and all that stuff. Just simply look up Aswan Cruikshank. That's ASWAND CRUISHANK. You will not find another one like me. All right, so stay tuned with all that as well. Fellow teammates, continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.